Did we not have sound? Hello, everybody. How you doing? Papa and Cindy and I are thought we'd. Can you hear me? Thought we'd do a show on abuse, and it doesn't matter, what level right now we go to. We're just gonna start opening it up with just a talk. Like we did this when Cindy and Papa were here, and I thought it went really well, and I think there was a lot of things to be shared. Audra, it's so good to see you, baby. Peacock, hello. It's good for you to be here with me, so that I don't mess up too bad. And if I do, you'll straighten me up. I know it. I'm sorry, I'm out of practice, so I'm gonna go to Papa and let him have some words, and then Cindy, and then we'll all start sharing. You guys feel free to come on in, because there really isn't any right or wrong answers to any of this. It's your testimony, any type of, support that you might be able to share with us that you've gone through, and maybe somebody that's gone through that helped. So this stuff right here is getting way out of control in our country. I just think I'm going to start doing a few series on them now, Papa.
Yeah, this is a topic that we kind of had a lucky thing. We were all together last week, and we started talking about it. Certain situations came up, but you know what? It was really a great discussion we had, and I kind of feel that she's doing a great topic. It's something that everybody wants to talk about, or everybody has a feeling, and it's something that has to be shared, because the more you share it, the better you heal. So I'm looking forward to hearing from other people.
That's for sure. I'll tell you what, even just having that conversation, Papa's so right. The more you do talk about it, the better you do heal. Hey, Sin, Cult of Audra. I can't even say it right, Audra. How you doing?
With their kids or something like that. It affects us. Abuse is different to everybody. It's according to how it affects you, and how can we help one another to shield ourselves against that kind of mental and emotional torment. Where do we go? How where do we start looking? I think we start looking within ourselves. In my opinion.
Yeah, I think eventually you have to do that. I think Cindy brought it up, though. The whole idea of an abuser, what he wants to do is to take control and to belittle the person, to think what he wants them to think, and to think that they no longer are able to do anything for their own, that they need him, and that they are her, and that they have to do everything they say, and yeah, it is about living all over again, because these are decisions that weren't made for you. They were made by somebody else. You have to learn how to live by yourself. You have to learn how to do your own stuff. But you know what? The bottom line is it's a freedom. It's something that everything has to be fought for. And in this case, if you have to fight for it, it's damn worth the end of it to get out.
That it is, and both those things are so true. For one, the power is within ourselves to change. The thing is you have to believe what's deep down inside. You have that when you're being belittled, like Papa said, and it gets bringing you down. We had talked about what is it that keeps somebody there? Why? Or if they leave that situation, wind up in another one just like it. It's what you're fed, and that deep down within yourself thing that you have to tap into. And it's a manner of self-esteem. You have to love yourself enough to step out, and it is like being reborn and living all over again, and you're learning how to relive, and I will say for myself, has taken almost the better part of 18 years to learn and to see if somebody, you don't know what that other person is feeling, or somebody you may not even know treats you abusively, but you recognize the signs, or you see somebody else treating someone else abusively. And it's a very heartbreaking thing for myself, but to be the ability to recognize it, the ability to step back, and then the ability to recreate yourself from the inside. It's actually an inner self that you originally have. But once you're around an abusive environment, and a lot of it is the emotional stuff. It doesn't even have to be the physical part. The emotional part is much more damaging, because that's what closes you in and makes you let it get you. That's the thing. You let it get to you, and you just
I don't know of anybody I've ever seen them turn away. And we saw there was like 12 people to a room, to one bedroom, and bunk beds, and sleeping on the floor, and one living room, one kitchen. You provided your own food. Family brought in food for you. You done, if you worked, they made sure you went to your jobs and stuff like that. And then they also helped you get into school. But once you got in there, then that's the first step of having to do it. But you have to get your kids out of there.
It doesn't call you names. Anything that does those things is not love. So the first step to breaking that silence is for you, for you meaning like the person who's in the situation, for that man or woman to be able to say, this isn't right, and I am being abused, and I don't deserve this. And then the next step is to start talking about it, talk to somebody about it, because that's one of the things that we have to deal with. We have to deal with our abusers telling us, nobody will believe you, nobody's going to listen to you, nobody's going to take you seriously.
That was something that I wanted to be able to give to my kids. And I knew all along in the back of my mind and deep within my heart that this was not what it was supposed to be. I kept trying to make it better. I kept trying to change it to give that happy environment. I was trying to put my best into it to make it right. But that comes from a two-way street. If you have an abusive person you're in a relationship with, all it is to them is control, but you don't see that. And the longer you're there in it, the harder that becomes to break through. And sometimes it takes that final enough. This is not me. And you find that inner strength, and you bust through that silence barrier, and you bring that inner loving self out. I do love myself. I do love my children, and this is not the way life is supposed to be. This is not how people treat each other.
Teach ourselves. I'm giving it. I lost my train of thought here, so.
You know what? I have a bad connection. It's coming in and out, but I'm freezing. I heard most of what WPI investigation had to say, but regarding abuse, I am not an expert, and I haven't been able to keep up with the flow. I'm freezing. But from what I have experienced with abuse, and I don't even know if you can call it abuse, but I have found moments, especially of recent, where it seems as if you're trying to convey a certain message or a certain idea, and then you basically feel that idea or that message or even your character, your personality is being turned into something else. And for me, I consider that a form of abuse. It's certainly not physical, it's not violent, but it's a form of mental abuse, and it's a new form of abuse. I mean, it's a cyber abuse, I guess, and that has been challenging for me because I simply don't.
Quicker than you will believe. It'll start